The planet Earth is a globe, right? We live in a floating ball going around another floating ball, but hot, that is millions of miles away in a vast and empty whatever composes the actual fabric of the universe. That is our reality. That is what we know. That is what we've been told through thousands of years. That couldn't possibly be a lie. But what if I told you that that is actually a lie? What if I told you that the Earth is not a globe? What if I told you that all of that universe bullcrap is not real? What if I told you that the flat Earth is real? This is the Earth, believe it or not. Yeah, I know what you scientists and people with average IQ are thinking.
This guy must be kidding. He couldn't possibly believe that or think that that is actually the truth. We've known that the Earth is a globe for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, you've all been brainwashed. And that, my friends, is the sad truth. But don't worry, in today's video I am gonna be telling you why and how the Earth is actually flat. More precisely, I'm gonna be talking about 3 topics that revolve around the hiding of the actual shape of the Earth. Starting with topic number 1. And you know what? Look at this. Look at what I have. Bam. I prepared the whole presentation, man. Look, I'm gonna stick with you with this. Okay, maybe it's better. Our senses. It is as simple as that. Look, what counts as real? Tell me, what do you count as reality? Spoiler alert, it is what you feel that counts as real. Our reality is based on what we assume as real and what we observe. It is ultimately what counts. If cool things happen to me, then my reality will be based on happiness. If bad things happen to me, then I will be sad. If I see a person falling into a lake, then I saw the person fall into the lake and she fell into the lake. So please, after watching this video, please go outside, go near the sea if you need to, and tell me if it feels like we are floating around in a globe, okay? Of course it doesn't feel. When you go into a plane, do you see the curvature of the Earth? When you rest a ball on the ground, does it fall to any of the sides? Of course not. And that is only achievable if and only if the Earth is a disk. But I know that only this, something called zeticism, yeah, that's the name, isn't enough for you, you snob. But what about the government? And that's topic number 2. What, you think that the government and the people that truly rule the world really care about giving us proper and real information? Of course not. The reality which is manufactured is far easier to control, and control is the best manifestation of power. Because let's all face it, the fact that they lie about the shape of the Earth isn't really to make money. The people that are truly in power don't really care about the money. I mean, they make it, they can print it. So what does that really account for when you have all the money? Nothing. So what they really want is power. And how do you achieve power in our society? By having people as currency, pieces of meat predisposed by brainwash to do anything and everything for them. And guess what? In exchange for fake currency, for the thing that doesn't really have any value, the money, that piece of paper that serves for nothing, but that they gave the value because it suits them. But I yet again know that this talk is crazy people talk, you know, tinfoil hat guy theory. What do you care about is facts. Let's say that this wasn't a fact. And you always bring up the scientific arguments, and okay, I get it. So let's prove the Earth is flat once and for all with topic number 3, science. Firstly, let's do an experiment, one that even you can do. Take a spirit level, that thing that you use to level stuff yeah, take that, go into a plane, the further away the better, and level the level once you're inside the plane. As you go onto the trip, you will see that the level will always be in perfect alignment. And that couldn't be possible if the Earth was round. If the Earth was round, the level would need to react accordingly and tilt ever so slightly, which just doesn't occur. Also, you can do another thing that's even simpler. Take a rule, go into the horizon and place the rule in the horizon, and you'll see that it is flat. But these are just 2 simple experiments. Let's now talk about Samuel Rowbotham, a writer and super well-read person. So in the 1800s, science, as we know it of today, was getting its boom. Everything was flying off the radar and new ideas were being discarded left and right, because they were not scientific enough, aka they were trying to take our senses as much as possible from the results of the experiments, which, as we saw, isn't really a good way to go about things, because we see the world as it is. It's our senses that matter. Well, Samuel, or Parallax, as he called himself in the book that he wrote about the topic, had one simple theory that no one was giving credit for, which was that he thought that the Earth was actually flat, because many felt that the world is flat. It is flat, that's how he felt. And so he decided to conduct an experiment, the Bedford experiment. I'm gonna go into paint to, yeah. Essentially, he went into the Bedford Level Canal in England, a stream of water that had literally 10 kilometers, okay? It was 10 kilometers, or for you Americans, 6 miles, bam, to watch a boat go down the current. And by his calculations, if the Earth was actually a globe, then the boat would need to disappear with each mile an X number of inches, aka, let's do this a little bit differently, the boat on the first mile would need to disappear 8 inches. On the second mile, it would need to disappear 32 inches. And on the third mile, it would need to disappear 36 inches, I'm sorry. It doesn't really matter, and 72 inches. Essentially, with each mile, the boat would need to disappear an X amount of inches for the Earth to be a globe. He went into the canal. He observed a boat going down the canal. And you know what he saw? That after the 10 kilometers, he could still see the boat. The boat was still visible, even after 10 kilometers. Proven once and for all that the Earth has to be flat. This approach was then linked to something that I already referred to a while ago called zetericism, a way of looking at science and at the world with our senses as the main source of confirming that. But look, I am not over. I am still not over. I'm gonna put again the cool image, because I am not over. I can still talk about this. Gravity doesn't exist. What, you really think that you are being pulled towards the center of a giant globe? That makes no sense. The disk is going up at 9.8 meters per second. Okay? That's what makes us go down. Sun and moon, they are not miles and kilometers and whatever away. No, they're really close to Earth, inside a dome, rotating, giving us the night, and they cycle. North Pole and Antarctica, those do not exist in the way that you think. The North Pole is in the center of the planet. Look, it's here, the North Pole. And the South Pole, or the Antarctica, it's a giant ice wall that goes around the entire planet, and it is fucking secured by government forces, because they do not care about you. They lie to you. Bro, look, I am not gonna leave this video until I made you understand the reality. I am not gonna fucking end this video without making you understand that everything is a lie. Everything that they tell you is a lie. It's not flat. The Earth is not flat. Here's the plot twist of the video. The Earth is not flat, and I hope you already knew that. I mean, I do like a good old conspiracy theory, but we live in a globe going around another globe that is hot millions of miles away, okay? That's it. I am sorry if you thought that I was really telling the truth, but no, the Earth is not flat. The Earth, it's a sphere. So before I talk about what I really want when it comes to this video, let's debunk all the topics that I just... yeah, let's debunk all that shit. But later, I'll tell you why I think that the flat Earth theory is actually really cool. Well, topic number 1, zetericism, using our senses as a means to prove something. That alone should disprove anything that a flat earther says. Okay, I am sorry. But science works at its full potential when you take all of the human senses off the equation. That way we are not tricked by our senses. There's so much stuff that we can't see, okay? We can't see all lights. There's tons of lights everywhere, like a light. We cannot hear every sound frequency. Even time itself could just be a way of our brain to perceive reality. So it is stupid to use our senses, something that is so falsifiable, as a means to prove something. Imagine a blind person that was born blind. There's no light, again, like a light. There's no way he can see, can't even perceive that. But as you can see, like if you are watching this video, there's tons of light all around you. If we were to take his senses and his look into reality as real, we'd be fucked. We will walk around with our eyes closed, which is not right. Reality is not what we perceive. Reality doesn't care about us. It exists, even if we exist or we don't. Of course, if we don't get into any philosophical discussion about it, but that's besides the point. What I really want to mean is that what you feel and what you perceive may not always be real. Saying that the earth is flat because it feels like it is flat, it's as stupid as a quote could get. Of course you'd feel like you are in a flat earth. Have you ever stopped to try and compare the size between us? The difference is so absurd that it is inconceivable, okay? But I know this isn't enough. So let's talk about topic number 2, the government and the fact that the real shape of the earth is being hidden from us. Bro, look, I know, the government isn't cool. It's a bitch. It makes us pay taxes, and the probability of us being softly enslaved is indeed quite high. They want us to be depressed and anxious so we are easier to control and all that matrix talk. But don't you think between all the NASA workers, politicians, UN representatives, and yes, I didn't even mention the UN theory that it is flat and they are using it flat, whatever, all the pilots, airplane crews, boat crews, journalists, don't you think that in between all those people, like at least one would need to spill the beans, okay? Video game, movie, TV show companies that have been around for much less time, and I think that there are much less people associated with, cannot control the leakage of information. And you think that such a mind-blowing fact about the shape of the earth could have been hidden for such a long time? That literally baffles me. That alone, I think it's the most outrageous thing that a flat earther can say, okay? But okay, you still ain't satisfied. So let's dive into topic number 3, the science of the flat earth and why it is completely wrong. So those 3 experiments that I mentioned a little while ago about the flat earth theory are literally the easiest thing to debunk, okay? And it's super quick too. So the plane and the level, bro, again, look at the size differences between us and the earth. Of course, it would be flattened out, okay? It's stupid. And furthermore, the plane is always going around at the same distance, so the level changes position ever so slightly that it is always leveled. It's obvious. And then the ruler thing on the horizon. Not even gonna comment on that. Let's go into the parallax, okay? Samuel Robotham or whatever the fuck. Because that could actually be, that you could actually be onto something. But as you know, the atmosphere has different air densities in between all of that space of air. And when light passes from a space with more air density to less air density, it refracts, it changes direction. So essentially what happened was that as the boat was going across the canal, the light was being refracted very slightly and it counteracted the curvature of the earth, and that's the reason why Parallax was able to see it. He was tricked by an illusion, and he knew that already, okay? He's just a little bitch that wanted to be right. But I'll keep on with the debunking. The sun and the moon are very close to Earth, and they rotate, and they create the night and day cycle. Okay, so tell me all those... Calm down. How do lunar eclipses and moon phases work then? A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth places itself in between the moon and the sun, casting its shadow on the moon. And the moon phases work depending on how the sun illuminates the face of the moon. If the moon is here, then it is being illuminated by the sun and it is a full moon. If it is here, it's not being illuminated, it is a new moon. And so it goes around the Earth, and the other moon phases work that way, okay? Yeah, but what if the moon has its own light? There is no gravity and we are going upwards at 9.8 meters per second. Okay, look, okay. Then explain to me how on a mountain I weigh less than on the ground. And how the fuck does your moon and sun don't fall too? What, are they going up as well? And since we're going up, why don't we feel the wind pushing us down? Oh, it's the dome. And what is making us go up, by the way? So what is making us go up? You don't know, do you? Of course you don't. And by the way, since I'm asking the questions now, how the fuck can you pick a telescope, point into the sky and see planets that have moons orbiting around them? Yes, you can see those with a fucking telescope. And by the way, what about something called the Coriolis effect, huh? Bet you can't explain how the fuck do tornadoes work. And since the moon doesn't have an effect on the earth, how do sea levels work too? How do they work? Why do we have sea levels? And what routes do airplanes take to go from a place to another? And why are there different night skies in different parts of the world? You literally see the night sky reversed in Australia. And how the hell do boats disappear from bottom to top when you are near the fucking ocean? Fucking Aristotle figured out that the earth was round fucking thousands of years ago with two fucking sticks and their fucking shadows. There are pictures of the fucking earth. Pictures! Okay, I kinda got a little bit mad and excited, and this was just for comedic relief. I don't actually get mad at flat earthers, okay? I don't care about this shit. Actually, I think that this theory can be pretty cool and it has a lot of interesting ideas. I mean, every Earth theory is fairly cool. There are theories of this that it's not floating in space, but it's part of a giant-ass planet and there are other oceans and continents, and there's a theory that the Earth has nothing inside of it, so it's all very cool. Okay? But there is a problem with this, and I know why some people believe that the Earth is flat. And let's talk about that. For starters, the Earth is not flat, okay? I think it's quite obvious. I think that most of you can agree that the Earth is not flat. I told you why, and yeah, it's a globe. Let me change it is a damn globe. That's the Earth. But why are there so many flat earthers? Why did this out of nowhere start getting so much traction? Like, as I said, we've known that the Earth is a globe for thousands of years. It got a little bit roughed in the 1800s with parallax, but people came to their senses. But again, in recent years, the movement got more traction. I think it boils down to some stuff. One, no real trust in the government. I have never encountered a person in my whole life, not that I am that old, I'm really young, but still, that likes the government. They might have some liking in a political view, but the actual government, no one likes them, okay? They lie, they make us pay taxes, they make stupid decisions, they make wars to get money or some type of political advantage. They suck, and people don't like them, and they make questions, and some of the questions are, if and how do they control us? What are their mechanisms to control us? Maybe it is with the pharmaceutical industry, maybe it is with social media control, or maybe one way to control us would be by, I don't know, lying about the shape of the Earth. Now, of course that I'm just talking and talking, because even though no one likes the government, it still brings us, like for the most part, at least in the Eastern society, a lot of good shit. The fact that most of our society lives a fairly good life, at least if compared to 1,000, 2,000 years ago, is in fact quite good. Which leads me to two, lack of real problems. This is something that I want to discuss in a later video, and it can be a little bit polemic, but simplifying. Humans are creatures of thought, and they love solving problems. And let's face it, in our modern society, there is a lack of actual huge problems, okay? I mean, for the most part, like, if you are watching this video, you are probably sitting in a couch, which seems pretty comfy to me. You probably have what to eat, you probably have a roof over your head, and for the most part, again, for the most part, you are not probably getting bombed down, okay? So most of our society lives a fucking great life if compared to even the richest of people amongst us 2,000, 3,000 years ago. We live in an almost utopia. And the problems, instead of falling into not having what to eat and having to hunt and whatever, fall more into the psychological spectrum of the problems, okay? You know, anxiety, depression, lack of purpose, gender identity, and of course, if the government is lying to us or not about the shape of the Earth. We create problems so we can solve them and feel good, and that gets amplified by 3, feeling special and having a voice. Science people can sometimes be a little bit rude. What do you mean you don't know the shape of the Earth? Are you that dumb? Are you the first impersonation and the first descendant of an actual carrot? Which honestly isn't really that welcoming. And for a society that's really focused on the psychological and ooh, I'm very sad part of the things, that can be problematic. Because on the other hand, people that believe in conspiracy theories tend to be a lot more welcoming, tend to be there with open arms, and they want more people to believe in what they believe. And they are willing to answer all your questions and whatever, and that gets even more emphasized by the internet, because people that believe in science and that there are scientists are even more rude because they're behind the monitor, and people that believe in conspiracy theories have a bigger voice and can reach people that would never been reached, okay? And those people that start believing those things get more and more deep into that society, which leads me to 4, bubbles and feeling special. The internet is great, but it has the ability to create bubbles where everyone believes the same thing and no one is really willing to pop the bubble because it's cozy and comfortable and everyone tells you that you're right and everyone is working towards the same goal, trying to, in this case, prove that the earth is flat. And they really all like each other and it's all special and it's all comfy and cozy. Everyone believes in you and wants to be with you and you're special because you're going against the government altogether. But the creation of bubbles around this topic and around any other topic is not good because it starts destroying the whole reason why I think that theories and the flat earth theory can be cool. Because it denies and disencourages questioning. Everyone is so comfy around their new reality that they stop trying to figure out what the world really is. They stop trying to do what they wanted to do in the first place, which was question the world around them. Asking questions is literally one of the best things a human can do, and it is one of our inherent uniquely differentiators from other animals. We should ask all the questions we can put together. And I am not only talking about questioning the government and if the things that they say are true and if the 9/11 really happened. I mean, I do like a good old conspiracy theory, and yes, we should ask those questions, but I mean to say that we should ask more childlike questions, in a more spontaneous manner. I don't know about you, but as a kid, I was literally always asking questions. My mom would give up on giving me answers because at a point she didn't know what to tell me anymore. What will you tell a kid when he asks,
So mom, this is all very cool and stuff, but what about the Big Bang? What was happening before that? And why can't like I pick up a shadow? And why are birds inside eggs? And
bro, shut up. Yep, yeah, and look, nowadays I am still kind of like that. I don't really go to my mom and ask questions until she has a stroke, but I like to ask questions, and that's why I have this channel. To ask questions, find the answers, and on the path of finding the answers, maybe I can answer your questions. Also, asking questions is literally one of our human traits. If it wasn't for, what are those lights in the sky? Why does an apple fall and the moon doesn't? What is the shape of the thing that we are living on? If it wasn't for those questions, we would most definitely not be where we are today. We would probably still be inside a cave, eating with our bare hands and painting on the walls. So there is a need to ask questions. Ask any questions. There are no stupid questions. Even if the question is, what is the shape of the earth? Is it flat? Because that is a pretty cool and interesting question. It's okay not to know that and not have all the knowledge and ask why. I think that the problem lies, in this case talking specifically about the flat earthers, but it could go to any other topic, not on asking the questions, but on not accepting the facts. If you ask, is the earth flat? And someone explains to you bit by bit how and why it is not flat and it is a globe, how mass, once it gets into a certain threshold, it crumbles into a ball because it's the easiest shape to maintain. Even a bubble of soap has the shape of a ball because it's easier to do it. And they tell you why the logic behind the flat earth is completely nonsense, and you still, after all that information, are like, nah, you've all been brainwashed. The earth is flat. Yeah, I know that it's impossible not to be flat because you've all been brainwashed. Then on that case, you are just dumb. People who do that are just dumb. And not because they don't know why the earth is a globe, but because they were not trying to have the question answered. They were just trying to be right at all costs. They were just trying to go against the current because they want to feel special. But if you ask a question and you truly try to uncover the truth and you do your research and you, I don't know, do experiments as you can or search experiments and try to take your biased nature off the equation and you accept that at the end maybe your assumption was wrong, then asking if the earth is flat stops being stupid and starts being actually really cool. Because you had a question, you tried to find the answer, and hopefully you figure out that the earth is a globe going around another globe that's hot, millions of miles away in the vast and empty, whatever composes the actual fabric of the universe. Which honestly, it's as weird as the earth being flat going up with the dome and the sun and the moon inside. Also, this goes to scientists themselves. If you have a question and you go to a scientist or whatever and you ask any question like, are ghosts real? They could be. Does God exist? Or even the shape of the earth, and the first thing that they do is discard your question and make you feel dumb, then that person is not trying to be scientific. That person is just stupid, and it's a tape recorder spitting facts that it heard without actual critical thinking. So make your questions, challenge reality, don't just accept it, try to figure it out. Make all the questions you need, even if you think you'll feel dumb. Because you most probably will feel dumb. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to do all that shenanigan of liking and stuff. And peace.